So the world's most influential and potentially controversial man, Andrew Tate, has just announced that he's buying $100 million worth of Bitcoin and completely exiting the fiat matrix. So is this going to create an exodus out of fiat and into Bitcoin? Because we should know that Tate has literally millions of followers on Twitter, and a lot of them would have opened up their Twitter feeds this morning and saw this tweet here. Okay, so we retweeted this tweet and we said Andrew Tate states he plans to ape over $100 million into Bitcoin. And Tate must have liked it because he's following Bitcoin news on Twitter. And if you guys are not, you should be following us over on Twitter. But let's have a look at what Tate said. Tate said, "I know I'm supposed to do this in chaotic times, but I'm about to leave fiat completely and ape over $100 million into Bitcoin." And this is the most interesting and important part about this tweet. He says he's going to prove it. Okay, so again, has he already bought the Bitcoin? Is he going to buy the Bitcoin? And when are we going to see the screenshots? Well, let's have a look at what Tate is currently talking about. So in the rest of this tweet, he says, "I'm done with the banks. I'm done with their money, done with their scams. Then I'm going boating." So that last line of that tweet was, for me, the most interesting line of the tweet. And then I'm going boating. Because that kind of suggests and hints that maybe Andrew Tate actually understands Bitcoin. Maybe he gets Bitcoin, because most Bitcoiners are very familiar about, how we talk about our cold storage. We say we don't have any Bitcoin. We lost it in a boating accident. Is Andrew Tate doing the same thing? I don't know, but yesterday I was less optimistic on Tate because he was telling us that buying GameStop shares was the solution to break the matrix and get out of the matrix. But then all of a sudden we see this massive Bitcoin pump, and it looks as if Andrew Tate has now kind of turned his back on GameStop, so to say, and we can see that he's getting interested in Bitcoin. And we can see what actually happened to the price of Bitcoin yesterday. We saw something pretty interesting and pretty erratic in the price of Bitcoin. We saw a $6,000 candle to the upside. Okay, you guys can see this is what I'm calling the Andrew Tate pump. Okay, now again, yes, I know that the Bitcoin spot ETF saw about $300 million of inflows yesterday. This is obviously bigger than Andrew Tate's $100 million Bitcoin buy. But we have to remember, Andrew Tate has 9 million followers on Twitter. So if he says, "I'm buying $100 million worth of Bitcoin," what percentage of his followers would follow suit? Okay. What if it's 1%? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people putting money into Bitcoin. Okay. So again, let's have a look at, I want to show you Andrew Tate's Twitter in just a moment, but I want to first show you this tweet that I popped out today, because I kind of feel like this Andrew Tate $6,000 daily candle is kind of similar to what we saw when Elon Musk, the world's richest man in 2021, came out and announced that he was buying $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Okay, again, people like to actually see these very influential people take the leap and go out there and buy Bitcoin before they even bother to do their own research. And it is when these very influential people in the world make such big announcements, that's what tips many people over the edge. Okay, so I think this Tate announcement is kind of similar to what happened with Elon Musk, okay, in 2021. So I said yesterday's $6,000 candle after Tate made his $100 million announcement is giving me 2021 flashbacks. Let's remember what happened in 2021. This was the nearly God candle that we got when Elon Musk announced that he was buying Bitcoin for Tesla. You can see there the price of Bitcoin rallied by about $8,000, okay? And this actually ended a multi-month consolidation period that we were seeing in 2021. We're kind of seeing something similar today, okay? Bitcoin has been, consolidating and, trending sideways here all the way since, March 14th, Bitcoin's been going sideways for. Again, nobody knows where the price of Bitcoin is going to go in the short term, but the market tends to bottom or turn around on big news announcements like this. And I don't think you could. I mean, Tate's just one man, but this is a pretty big, thing to be happening. Okay, very, 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 very big thing to be happening. Okay, Tate is always very, 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 very active on Twitter. And we can see here, he tweeted this out this morning, diamond hands, This was literally hours after his Bitcoin announcement. And it's very interesting to see how quickly Tate is kind of backflipping. We can also see here, it's game over for the Matrix. Talking about Telegram app, I'm not so sure. But this is the Bitcoin tweet that caught everybody's attention. Underneath it, he also commented this. I haven't done this yet because I actually have more crypto than fiat. But I think I'll just leave fiat completely. So again, some people have speculated, hey, was that massive candle yesterday, that big $6,000 candle, was that because Tate has already bought the Bitcoin? Because again, I think it's interesting to consider for a fact, how would Andrew Tate buy $100 million of Bitcoin? Nobody knows, but I don't think he's the kind of guy who's going to be as calculated as Michael Saylor is. Michael Saylor, did he create or did he use this trading algorithm bot that was very meticulously buying Bitcoin in hundreds of little chunks every single day so that he wouldn't actually move the price? I'm not sure if Tate would be doing the same thing, just personally. I think he's more of the kind of guy who says, yeah, buy 20 mil, then buy another 20 mil after lunch. I think he's more going to smash buy the Bitcoin. So again, I think we might actually see it in the markets when Tate actually does decide to buy some Bitcoin. Now, I want to get into the Bitcoiners' responses to Andrew Tate in a moment, but I think it is important to play you guys this video. Some of you guys might not have seen this video, but this is Christine Lagarde, head of the European Central Bank, and she was asked a question about Bitcoin, and this is her response. I want to play it for you guys.
It is a speculative. It's a speculative asset by any account. I mean, when you look at the most recent developments upward and now the most recent downward trend, for those who had assumed that it might turn into a currency. Terribly sorry, but this is an asset, and it's a highly speculative asset, which has conducted some funny business and some interesting and totally reprehensible money laundering activity. I think that there are criminal investigations that have taken place that I'm sure will continue to take place that demonstrate it very clearly. And there has to be regulations, and this has to be applied and agreed upon. It's a matter that needs to be agreed at a global level, because if there is an escape, that escape will be used. So
that's the most important nugget I want you guys to hear. Christine Lagarde said it. You can see the captions on the video. If there is an escape, that escape will be used. And this is because these leaders want you trapped inside the financial matrix, as Andrew Tate would call it. They want you using fiat because that is how they steal your wealth, like the parasites that central banks are, okay? I think that Bitcoin is very clearly and very obviously becoming the escape valve that many people like Christine Lagarde know it is, okay? The head of the central bankers know exactly what Bitcoin is. They understand that it is the escape valve. They know that they need to try to trap people inside this financial matrix. And what's becoming even more interesting about this financial matrix is the fact that we are watching a supply suffocation. So I like this tweet here from Vivek. He says, Coinbase's reserves are at an all-time low. Andrew Tate is leaving fiat completely and buying $100 million worth of Bitcoin. There is simply too much demand, and there is simply not enough Bitcoin available for sale. It really is as simple as that. And you guys know that the price of Bitcoin is set at the margins, okay? At the margins, we've just watched over 1 million coins leave exchanges over the past 4 years. And now we're watching every single day a bigger and a bigger institution, okay? We're going to bring you guys a story, a little bit of a deep dive looking into all the billionaires buying Bitcoin. But the 9th largest hedge fund right now has about $2 billion of Bitcoin. This was disclosed yesterday in the 13F filings to the SEC, okay? So every single day we are blessed with another massive, really big person who matters in the world of money adopting Bitcoin. And these are the people that are important, okay? A lot of people say, okay, how can we reach $1 million Bitcoin or $10 million Bitcoin when 99.9% of the world is completely oblivious to Bitcoin? Well, again, they don't matter. The masses do not matter. Bitcoin is different, okay? Bitcoin is a monetary technology. The people who control the most monetary energy, they push Bitcoin's adoption forward the most, okay? Michael Saylor, when he plugs in what? Is it is it over $10 billion worth of Bitcoin now that MicroStrategy owns? When he buys 214,000 Bitcoin, he doesn't increase adoption by, one person divided by the 8 billion total population. No. He increases the total Bitcoin adoption by a lot because he holds a lot of money. That's all that matters. Okay, let's have a look at, I've got one more video and something else I want to show you guys, but I want to have a look at the live chat. We got McLovin in the chat. Bitcoin is key to stop being a battery in their fiat slavery system. The Matrix was certainly prophetic. I was actually going to try to show you some videos from the Matrix today, but I did a live stream over on my personal YouTube channel a little while ago, and YouTube did not like one of the videos I was sharing for you guys. So if you want to see why I actually think that, Bitcoin and the Matrix is a really good analogy, I did do a live stream on that topic a while ago. You'd be able to find it somewhere. There it is. Did the Matrix predict Bitcoin 25 years ago today? That is that video. But again, I think McLovin is 100% on the money. The Bitcoin analogy is a beautiful one, okay? And obviously to escape the fiat matrix, obviously, I think Jeff Booth is 100% on the money. Great comment there by one smart fella. Bitcoin unlocks deflation, okay? Just ask yourself how wild it is that prices continue to increase year after year after year, okay? When our society is getting better at making things faster, more efficient, but prices continue to rise. That's the fiat matrix, okay? Now, speaking of the fiat matrix, I want to show you a short video from Tate here. There's actually a lot of videos about Tate, but I want to show you this one. This is an old interview where he appeared on Pomp's show. So I'm going to try to play this for you guys.
And when everything hit the fan, the first thing I thought was, I don't want cash. Remember the big Bitcoin crash? $5,400 at the beginning of this Corona thing. When it really, really tanked. Everyone's saying it's over. All this crap. I put a tweet up that I still retweet to this day saying, you're all pussies. Bitcoin's coming back. I think I said, I'm buying $600,000 today and we can talk when it's at 8,000. I think I said that. I'll turn 600 grand to like $12 million. Because I had cash in a bank, and when everything hit the fan, the first thing I thought was, I don't want cash. I want something else. Give me an asset. Okay, well, how can I get an asset that the government can't take? Bitcoin. Remember the big Bitcoin crash?
So this is an interview he did with Pomp, I believe. And as you can see, he nailed the bottom in the 2020 crash. So a lot of people are kind of saying, look, Tate's just a little bit of a tourist. He's noise. And look, I can see that argument. I think his marketing department is certainly on the money. I think he just jumps on the new trend. I think I was watching a Simply Bitcoin live stream about this earlier today, and they mentioned something about Andrew Tate just being, Andrew, the next thing Tate. And that's true. I couldn't agree more with that take. Andrew does just kind of hop on what's hot, but he has been interested in Bitcoin for a little while now. There's some funny comments in the live chat. I better not bring that up. So, I mean, like he obviously bought, what was this? How much did he make? Turn $800,000 into $12 million in that 2020 crash. So Tate's not exactly new to Bitcoin, okay? The fact that maybe he comes out today and he mentioned that fact about a boating accident today, that makes me slightly more bullish on Andrew Tate. The fact that he actually knows what a boating accident is, I think that's important. I'm going to buy $100 million of Bitcoin, then I'm going boating. Again, I think that raises an interesting point. It's always good to, pay your taxes. But, Bitcoin is a pseudonymous network. You can own Bitcoin and nobody has to know that you own it. I think that's a beautiful thing about Bitcoin that's always worth doubling down on. Now, guys, with all that said, pretty sure that is all I have for you guys today. I want to try to keep these live streams a little bit on the shorter end. A few people have mentioned they like the sub 20-minute live streams. Now, if you do want to learn more about Andrew Tate and why I think it's interesting that he's kind of jumping from GameStop literally yesterday. He literally 2 days ago, he said, look, I'm going to sell $500,000 of Bitcoin and buy GameStop. And now today he's going to buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin after this massive big, $6,000 green daily candle. If you do want to learn more about that GameStop situation and Andrew Tate, I'd recommend you check out a live stream we did on that earlier in the week. And with all that said, guys, if you want to stay up to date with all of these topics and more, and you prefer reading, you don't like my my radio head bringing you guys the video, you can get our free weekly newsletter. We do them weekly and we cover topics like these. So again, that is linked in the chat down below. So you can check that out and subscribe to that if you are interested. And with all that said, thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. We will see you guys in another live stream in the not too distant future. Enjoy the rest of your day.